Salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today I'm going to be talking about some bookish trends that I wish would end in 2023. Some trends that I hope we don't continue in the new year. Hello, how are you? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be filming today's video. We are almost done with Vlogmas, guys. Today's video was inspired by a TikTok that I saw. Creator's TikTok is called Literally Alexandria, and she does a bunch of bookish content. Quite a big following on TikTok, and she did a video of bookish trends that she wish would end in 2023. So things that she doesn't really want to see in the community, or the types of tropes that she doesn't want to see in 2023. And I thought that was kind of just like an interesting video, so that's what inspired today's video. And this is also a collab with Crystal from Crystal Bookish Life, and she's going to be doing the opposite. She's going to be talking about bookish trends she does want to see in 2023. So all of her favorite bookish things that she hopes continues into the new year. Make sure to check out Crystal's video. She's also been doing Vlogmas all month long, so go catch up on her videos as well. I'm so excited that she decided to collab with me. I love Crystal so much. Her reading vlogs are one of my favorite things to watch. The way that she talks so passionately about romance, it just makes me want to read literally anything that she ever talks about. So I will leave her channel and her video down below. But for today's video and for my portion of the video, I'm going to be talking about some little bookish things that I kind of want to leave behind in 2022. Now, I know this video can inherently be kind of negative, but that's not really my vibe. At the end of the day, reading is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. So if there are trends and tropes that you love, continue to love them in 2023. The thing that I kind of just want to end in 2023 is people getting so upset at how much or how little another person is reading. So it's the end of the year and everyone's coming out with their videos where they're talking about how many books they read a year. Whether they read 10 books or 50 books, 100 books, 300 books, 500 books, whatever the amount. There's a lot of discourse in the community which I'm not really understanding why. There are some very large creators who happen to read a lot because this is their hobby, this is their passion. It's also become a part of their community and their livelihood, and people get so upset when someone comes on here and is like, yeah, I read 300 books a year, and it's like, well, if you read that many books, you don't have a social life. If you read that many books, you're just skimming. You're not actually reading and retaining the information. What? Why would people lie about how many books they're reading at the end of the year? Okay, no one is getting a medal for these things. No one is getting a reward for these things. Like, the people who are making these videos are truly passionate about the books that they're reading, and they're happy to talk about the books that they're reading, and they literally do not care if you've read 1 book or 100 books in that year. So it's so odd to me that people get so upset about the fact that people are reading so many books. It comes from a place of people comparing themselves to one another. It really does not matter how many books you read, okay? If you read 1 book that year, you're still a reader. If you read 1,000 books that year, you're still a reader. There is no rules, there is no regulations. This is just a community where you're supposed to read and enjoy books. That's it. And it really doesn't matter how much you read. It comes from both sides of the spectrum. I really wish that people would not feel like just because they're not reading that many books that year because of whatever is going on in their life, maybe they just haven't had the time, that they're not good enough or they're not reading enough. And then I also really wish that people would stop being so negative to those who do have the time to read so many books that they love. Like, let people just read what they want to read. Second one is kind of in that same vein, and that is, can I just say one quick thing? Audiobooks, they're real reading, babes. If someone listened to an audiobook, they read that book. They can say they read that book. It is a form of reading. When people get so upset saying like you have to physically read a book for it to count as reading, again, where are these rules coming from? This is a hobby. This is something that people are passionate about. This is not required reading. I'm not writing a dissertation for a college essay. Like, does not matter how I consume the book, whether it's ebook, physical book, audiobook, it's still reading. And for you to tell people that it's not is a little ableist. Like, let's just be honest. Some people do not have the capability to physically read a book, so they listen to the audiobook. People like to listen to audiobooks on their commute or while they're working or while they're cleaning, and they're still reading a book. Audiobooks definitely count as reading, and I just think, again, weird energy that people say that it doesn't. Like, let's, again, move past that in 2023. I'm going to reiterate that this video is all in good energy. I'm not trying to be negative or anything like that. I just want people to enjoy the love of reading and also realize that this community can be so amazing and so positive, and I just want to keep it that way. You know what I mean? Next thing I would like to move past is saying that romance books or reading romance books is cheesy or a guilty pleasure. I don't know why those sentences bother me so badly, but there is nothing cheesy about wanting to read about a happily ever after. There is nothing cheesy about identifying with a character in a romance book, whether it's a heroine or a hero or a situation where you feel seen. Nothing cheesy about reading smut. There's nothing cheesy about reading romance as an escapism. There's nothing cheesy about reading romances that are over the top and bonkers. Just again, a hobby that's fun, and I don't like the word guilty pleasure for really anything, because if something is bringing you pleasure and it's not harming anyone else, you don't need to feel guilty about it. You literally do not. I just wish we stopped calling romances cheesy or a guilty pleasure or not real reading or just like things like that, because I think it's just putting down some of the amazing work that these talented, brilliant authors are doing. Authors that just do such good work, and what they stand for is amazing. Like Sophie Lark, for example, how she writes her books about independent, intelligent women, and they're so uplifting and so powerful. Like nothing about that is cheesy to me, and I just, if you don't like the genre, that's one thing, and if you prefer another genre, but you literally do not have to bring down an entire group of people who enjoy it. When did we even get this stereotype with that romance is cheesy or something to be ashamed of? You know, like the step back covers that we have to hide under our bed or something. Like, when did we get that stereotype? When romance is literally the top selling genre. It is literally the top selling genre. It makes billions of dollars a year. Like, what? That's cheesy? No, it's making a shit ton of money and people happy at no cost to any other person's physical or mental well-being. Like, what? Like, I just don't know where the stereotype came from, and I hope we can move right past it. Next thing or trend that I wish we could just leave is mean girl energy. And I don't know how to say this politely, but like, it's not cool to be mean. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna give some examples, and again, I'm really not trying to ruffle anyone's feathers. Let's say someone posts a video where they are raving about their favorite book. They love this book. They love this author. They are having a brilliant time. And then someone goes in the comments and proceeds to tell them that they don't have any taste in reading, that their video is trash, that the book is trash, the author's trash. Like, why would you want to leave such a negative comment that could bring someone down? Probably we don't all have to like the same books, okay? Reading is subjective. So if I love a book and you hate a book, that's great. But I mean, my opinion in books is trash doesn't mean your opinion in books is trash. Like, people get so angry. Like, it's okay if you didn't like the book, but you don't need to go on other people's pages and just bring them down. You know what I mean? And also, like, why are we tagging authors in like negative, hurtful reviews? That is so sad. Like, literally so sad. Me, I think book reviews are for readers. I don't necessarily really think it is for the author. It's poor representation of a marginalized group, or they did something that could be potentially harmful in their writing and you are giving them criticism for that, or making them aware of that, educating them of that. That's completely separate. That is a whole other thing that is completely okay. But for you to read a book and you just not like it for whatever reason, maybe you didn't like the couple, maybe you didn't like the way it ended, maybe you didn't like the specific trope, literally completely trashing the book and the author as a person in your review, and nothing about it is constructive, nothing about it is really even about the book, and you're tagging the author in the review? That's just so sad and mean. Like, this is literally somebody's livelihood. The authors spend hours upon hours upon hours pouring their heart and soul into this literature. And yes, again, art is subjective. They are in the understanding that, you know, some people are not going to like their book, which is fine, but like, you don't need to tag them. You don't need to tag them. It's okay. Just give your Goodreads rating and leave your review, and you don't need to flag down the author to tell them how horrible they are. My camera died, but I'm back. Anyways, I'm just trying so hard not to be negative, but I realize this video is kind of negative and it's not my vibe. Let's talk about some more lighthearted things. What I would love for a trend to not happen in 2023 is illustrated covers that don't have anything to do with the book. Okay, hear me out, hear me out. I know the age of clinch covers is over, and although that makes me very sad, and I love sexy people on covers and clinch covers and just like people on covers, I can admit that the illustrated covers have their appeal. There are some amazing authors who do amazing illustrative work. I know a lot of people like different alternate designs, so cheaper for publishing companies and for authors as well, but I just like don't love when it's like a generic like Canva design, if that makes sense, where the cover looks nothing like the vibes of the book. I feel like even though it's illustrated, the vibes still need to be there, and a lot of times I feel like you could literally take off the author's name, take off the title, and all line them up, just line them up, and a lot of them look so similar. You know what I mean? Like, I love when the illustrated covers are intentional and they kind of like tie into the theme and the vibes of the book, and they still look like romance books, not women's fiction books, non-fiction books. Like, they actually look like romance books still. You know what I mean? And instead of being mean and showing covers that I don't like, because again, this is all opinion based, I'm going to show some covers that I do like and illustrated covers that I wish we can continue to see in 2023. So an example of it would be the Sophie Lark Brutal Birthright series. She has these beautifully illustrated covers. Gorgeous. Like, I look at this and I'm like, yeah, it could be a romance, and each and every illustrated design ties in to the book. The little strawberries on Brutal Prince, that ties into the book. This one is called Bloody Heart, and there's a bloody heart on the cover. Stolen Air has a ballerina on the cover, and our heroine is a ballerina. Like, it all ties into the vibes. It's illustrated, still looks like a romance book, but the vibes match the book. Cover kind of needs to match a book, and although we don't judge books by its cover, I kind of want pretty books. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely read a lot of ebooks, and I don't have a lot of space for tons of physical books, so if I'm buying a physical book, I want it to be pretty. And I don't feel like that's too much to ask, okay? Let's talk about a trope I, you know, don't care for anymore, and I used to love. This used to be my absolute favorite trope. It was. And that is love triangles. Thinking Twilight, Team Jacob and Team Edward, like that type of love triangle. Has two romantic love interests, but she has to choose one at the end. Why? Why do we have to choose? We now have why choose romances, polyamorous romances, reverse harem romances. And I feel like love triangles are like just angsty for no reason sometimes. Like, let's all just be happy and all be together. That's just me. That's my personal preference, because I'm so obsessed with polyamorous romances that I just can't read a love triangle anymore, because I'm like, why can't this turn poly? Why can't everyone just be happy and in love and bang and just ride into the sunset together? I don't feel like it's too much to ask. Love triangles are just not my favorite trope anymore. They used to be. I love polyamorous romances so much, and I know that why choose romances are a thing, so I'm like, why can't we all just be happy? Who said we have to pick? Why can't we have our cake and eat it too? We can have nice things. Let's just be polyamorous and skip right over the love triangle angst. But that's like a really selfish thing, because polyamorous romances are like my favorite. So yeah, that's it. Bookish trends that I wish would end in 2023. Tropes that I'm not really a fan of. Videos I'm not really a fan of. Again, this was all and good fun and positivity, and I love all of you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there are any trends that you don't really want to see in 2023, or some tropes that aren't your favorite, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to chat with you guys. Of course, watch Crystal's video, because she's talking about all the positive things, all the things she does want to see in 2023. So love that. I'm so excited to watch her video. As always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!